Thank you for joining us for a very special Beardy and the Bees, where we talk with writer and filmmaker Ashley Good. Hello, Ashley.
Hello, happy to be here. I have my glass of white lady juice with me and I'm ready to do this.
I happen to be drinking the highest percentage IPA that I could find in the mart this evening, just so I could join you at your level, Ashley.
Just so you could make pity party good. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm classing it up with whiskey.
Classic Devon.
Blacking out before we get through the film.
Someone's got to set it off the rails, right?
Following this discussion, we'll be watching the feature comedy film Pity Party, which can be found on youtube.com/at Ashley E. Good. That is ASHLEYEGOOD. We're looking forward to this.
Drew can spell.
I'm looking at a reference.
Do you mean by feature-length comedy? Do you mean future cult classic?
Obviously, I hear there's a really handsome guy in the film that steals a show.
I mean, a cult classic's what you call a movie that doesn't do very well, right? And then the director wants to feel better about it.
And you start weird conspiracy theories about spoons.
Let's just say you're gonna go further than some other films like The Room.
That's pretty ambitious. We did just hit, 43,000 views on YouTube, though, within the last 3 months since uploading it. So that's basically I'm the most famous person in Vancouver, or on Vancouver Island right now.
Over 40K on YouTube. Is that at youtube.com/at Ashley E. Good?
I get it. I haven't talked to any adults in a while either, and I understand it can be awkward to hold a conversation, but...
Let's face it, we barely hold conversations every time we record, Ashley.
So, Pity Party was this little independent film that I shot back in 2017, back when I had hope and ambition, and we shot this thing. I mean, if you don't count all of the work, the volunteer hours that went into it, it had a straight up budget of $10,000 Canadian, so like $100 US, but yeah, $10,000 Canadian, and we shot it over 5 days. It was all Airbnb locations, an entire team of volunteers. I had like 35 people. It was my first feature and like the second or third thing I ever shot. I still can't believe we actually succeeded. If I could do it again, obviously there would be things that would change, but for, the materials we had and everything, I'm still proud of the little film.
Yeah, I think that's honestly a big thing anyway. Like, just go out and do it. Nothing's stopping you.
Yeah. It was fun. And that's kind of, my entire motto, like, be your own biggest cheerleader, and like, life's short, so if you want to do something, just fucking go for it. Like, a lot of filmmakers will shoot something and then they'll never release it. But with Pity Party, I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I think it's funny. A lot of people think it's funny. Let's put it out and just try to have people enjoy it. Have a laugh.
And I think that's true for most forms of art. It's kind of like when I do sketch art or any kind of digital coloring, anything like that, you find you get to a point you're like, I need more. And that's usually when you're like, no, this is ready. This should be released. It should be something beyond me at this point.
Absolutely.
You said you made this when you still had hope and ambition. Is that hope, is that ambition still there? Like, will we be graced with more films in the future of your production?
I mean, yeah, like, I guess the ambition has... my Hollywood, quote-unquote Hollywood ambitions have been killed and dug up and spat on, and that's not happening. And I think every filmmaker at one point in their career is like, oh, if I just work hard, I can make it. But, I mean, that's a crock of shit. The people that make it have connections, they check the right boxes, or, they get exceedingly lucky. And I don't mean that to be sour grapes, it's just the reality of it. If you've made a film yourself, if you've gone to markets to try to sell projects, you can see, I'm not saying anything new. It's a very closed and isolated world, and they aren't really open to independent filmmakers that are trying to do their own thing. Pity Party it's not a masterpiece. I didn't have any ambitions that this would, make me famous, but I think it did reveal to me a lot about, the industry and how, I don't know, I'm rambling. We're having a good time. I don't know.
Well, at least it made you 40,000 views famous over at youtube.com/at Ashley E. Good.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was was so worth making it because my intention was, I'm like, okay, I can go back to university and like try to study something else to, do a career pivot or whatever. Like, or I can take that money and I can make a movie. And it was film school condensed into 5 days and then a summer's worth of editing that I had to teach myself how to do.
Just learning the skill by just doing it. Good on you.
And thank you. And it really is about who you know as well. And with Pity Party, I mean, I met so many amazing people. Like, it sounds cheesy, but we all became friends. Like, all of the leads in the movie are now, they all hang out all the time. One of them babysits for me. We didn't know each other beforehand. I mean, some of us did, but most of the people were strangers. And now we've got lifetimes of friendships under our belts.
Tell you the problem about choosing making this film opposed to going back to post-secondary for a career pivot. The thing about this film is you won't be able to mop up a spilled coffee with it like you could with a diploma. But being able to see things to completion, especially something like this, that it's over an hour-long film. It's great. I think it's got great pacing. I think it's enjoyable. I'm one of its biggest fans. At least 30,000 of those views over at youtube.com/@AshleyEGood are mine. And most of your YouTube short views are probably Devon.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. And yes, I would do it again. I would absolutely do it again. And I wouldn't change anything in the process. If I had my brain from today and I was to go back and do it again, yeah, I might get some different shots. I might edit things differently. I think I'm better at killing my darlings now. I could cut out some of the jokes that didn't quite work at the time. One thing about me, if you know me or if you've listened to me on this podcast before, is I tend to ramble. And my stories will usually have a point. But sometimes it takes a while to get to that point. And I realized, watching Pity Party, those jokes sometimes don't always land to anybody but me. I'm like, does that even make sense to the viewer? Because it's just, if you approach something with enthusiasm, like, people will want to help you. And I guess I was just so enthusiastic about Pity Party and getting it made that everyone was blind to how bad some of the writing was. And I didn't get any honest feedback that I really could have used to tighten up the script.
With your journey in writing, you're more mature, you're older now. You have a whole lot more cynicism, which I think would go really well on the back end of this film in the writing. And especially because you're a prolific author now.
Why, thank you. You know what? I'm not even going to deny that. Sure, prolific. Yeah.
What is it? With books released on Amazon.ca.
Oh my God! Don't.
I would honestly love to see in the future, not a sequel or anything or a reimagine, but like a spiritual sequel of this with like the attitude and the feelings that are portrayed in this just from your current or your future position, because I think it might even be, instead of 40,000 views, we might be talking 70,000 views over at, the address.
Can I tell you about the rough idea I have for kind of a Pity Party sequel that I think I'd like to make for fun, just to do a table read? I wouldn't want to shoot it. I just want to get everybody back together to read it. I want it to be a courtroom drama.
With the same characters?
Yes, so I don't want to spoil anything for the people that haven't yet, watched the movie. But I think it would be funny if perhaps the zombie apocalypse, it was real, but it only lasted like 2 days before a cure was found. So they're out in the cabin, taking shelter. They've been killing, like, so many people. And then eventually the cops show up, and they're like, there's a cure for this. You've just been straight up murdering people for like a year. You have so many crimes to be charged with. I will see if that ever happens.
I think that would be very enjoyable, and seeing that from the lens of a small film without like the massive production budgets and like the obvious, this is just some, I don't know, classroom that you were able to rent for an afternoon, would be wonderful.
Oh my God.
Can imagine a table read being like 12 angry men, the walls just start closing in slowly.
We need the Law and Order sound effects.
Dun-dun.
Pity Party 2, more pity, more partier. Dun dun.
I think you should go Fast and the Furious. You do 2 pity, 2 party.
fuck?
In a future sequel, we can launch one of the stars into space. I think it would be great.
Oh my god.
You just want to go to space.
Well, obviously, you would be in the courtroom drama. You'd be one of the jurors. I do want to add just one final point about the movie. My pitch as to why people should actually watch this now, how many years later? Has it been 6 years since I made it? 5 times lost all meaning. Anyway, yeah, pity party, dark comedy. I'm pretty sure we predicted the pandemic with this, so, you can watch it and see what else the movie maybe has predicted that hasn't come into fruition yet. Basically, I'm Nostradamus. But it's important to note that the lead character, Liza, is supposed to be so self-involved that she can't tell that the world is ending around her. So there's always stuff happening in the background of the scenes that she's not aware of. Like during the coffee shop scene, we'll talk about this during the viewing of the movie, but during the coffee shop scene, there's some, handsome extras in the background that are dealing with some stuff. It's because they just found out the world is ending. There's just stuff in the background that is meant to be there. That's not an accident.
Given the reviews that I've read, people seem to really pick up on what's going on in the background and really like to focus upon it.
You kind of talked about the Hollywood aspect. Makes me wonder, it's like, are people not noticing the background because, well, a lot of films don't have as much happening in the backgrounds anymore?
Because you're not supposed to. I've done background acting, and it's always, blend in, look perfect. You have to wear so much lip gloss when you do background for Hallmark. It's actually insane.
Yeah, but there was a lot of movies where there was things in the background. Edgar Wright films, for example. There's generally stuff happening in the background that's meant to be seen. A lot of films don't do that anymore.
Because art is dead and Hollywood killed it. Fuck you, Hollywood.
It's because they lost their hope and ambition. No, sorry, they kept the ambition, lost the hope.
Oh shit, I have to get my hope back. Can you guys help me with that? Pity party viewing party. Help Ashley get her hope back.
The only hope in Hollywood is the girl named Hope that Joss Whedon's trying to perv upon.
Oh, jeez.
Next thing we know, she's talking about E.T.
All comes full circle.
You gotta throw in the callback so we can have YouTube cards and
Oh,
plug our own
absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
But of course, the big thing to plug is youtube.com/@AshleyYouGood.
Or just search Pity Party movie and it'll come up. Oh, so one thing that's been happening with Pity Party on YouTube, which happened on Amazon before, I think I told you guys the story about how Amazon randomly tagged it as a softcore porn. So I was getting thousands and thousands, when it was on Prime, thousands of views in Germany for 2 seconds. Pretty much enough time for these people to start the movie and then see kids walk across the screen. And then they're like, nope. They just close it. So I'm I was wondering what was happening, why I was only getting these few second views from Germany. And yeah, I went through a VPN and I was seeing how it was being presented, and it's being suggested alongside straight up softcore porn. So if I go into the analytics on YouTube, it's oh, how did people find this movie? And they're searching for, one of the terms was erotic movie. I'm oh my god. So why? It's not. It's very tame. It's
just lean into it,
edgy,
Ashley.
it's provocative, it's whatever you want it to be.
Hey,
See Liza's shoulders in one scene.
Hey, Devon.
Yeah, Drew?
Because the word softcore porn came up, we can include that in the tags on this film.
Yes!
Our podcast is going to the moon!
Yeah!
Drew and Devon break the internet.
I think we found the meta for the internet. We should probably use busty girls in bikini tops for the video thumbnail.
I was thinking maybe Elsa and Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
Oh no, everything's going wrong.
Which one of you is Elsa and which one of you is going to be photoshopped to be Spider-Man?
I mean, this is pretty obvious.
I just like how neither of us need to be photoshopped to be Elsa.
Can I be the weird pregnant fetus in Elsa?
Wait, are we saying that Devon's giving birth to Ashley? This is a completely different type of. This is one of those weird Japanese comics you only find on the shadiest part of the internet.
On that note,
Or
do you guys
YouTube
wanna watch
algorithms.
Pity Party? Let's get this show going.
Let's do it.
All right.
Please join us over at youtube.com/at Ashley E. Good. Link will be in the description below. Here we'll watch the film Pity Party, performing a commentary style discussion during it. As always, if you like what we do, like and subscribe, or join the conversation at our Discord or in the comments. A full list of services that we're available on is at beardyandthebeast.com. Later.